everybody, we are back. It is Tipped on Life's Favorite Race Podcast, Favorite Race Channel, Favorite Race Everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also, follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasubs.com. TDL discount code for 35% off. All right. So I'm going solo today, guys. You know, Matt's having some internet problems. He's moving to a new house. Congrats to Matt. He bought a new house. So he's having some internet problems. And I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do offense and defense today. I'm going to go all in. This is going to be all me breaking this down fully. So we're going to do offensive review and defensive review for the Dolphins. Of course, we're live. So I'll take some of you guys' questions about the film. I'll go over the offense. We'll come back, take some of the questions you guys see on the film. And then, of course, we go back to defenses to do the same damn thing. So be a little more interactive today, I think. But I think it's be pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of working it out that way. But, I wanted to make sure you guys get some film out to you. You know what I mean? Of course, some updates. Max Crosby's an injury report. I saw that. I agree with that. It would not be a good position unless, Malcolm Kuntz finally gets to face a right tackle. And that might be a good game for him, but I don't know. That might be a little different for him seeing it that way, but I think it's going to be a good look. It won't be a good look for the Raiders if he doesn't play, but I think he's going to go. There's no way. I don't believe that. We'll see, man. I don't believe that. So, the offense, I'll just go over it, talk about this stuff real quick before I get into the film. So the offense, this past game, they really couldn't run the ball, right? And that was probably the biggest part of this game, is that the Dolphins were ready for the zone run game. We talk about them playing zone forever. The Dolphins were ready for it. They were like, okay, how do we stop a zone run team? And they played an over front with 5 across, like they're playing the Rams back in 2019, or what what the Patriots did to them in the Super Bowl, where Jared Goff was in the Super Bowl. The first time Sean McVay went there, they kind of did that same thing where how they want to stop wide zone and inside zone type of runs. So that was interesting. And of course, it put a lot on Aiden O'Connell to win this game. And, he just basically couldn't get it done. I mean, that's basically how it kind of went on offense. A lot of guys weren't separating like usual too. There's a lot of guys getting locked down out there. That's a pretty good secondary over there in the Dolphins. And that's what the Dolphins want you to do. They want you to pass on them so they can get those pass rushers. The offensive line was getting their ass kicked. I'll show a little bit of that too. 48% of the pressure, 48% of the time. So it was just ugly on it. Yeah, it was pretty ugly on the offensive side of the ball, but they still found a way to get some points. So, and I thought Aiden O'Connell still had some good moments, some flashes. I think he's a little bit better running out of spread, in my opinion. Like when they spread him out and they actually just let him play quarterback, he actually plays a little bit better. So, yeah. So hopefully they kind of maybe do that with him a little bit more and kind of make him a little comfortable instead of trying to put the handcuffs on him, because I think it actually affects him too much. I think he reads to feel better when he's kind of doing out of shotgun. So hopefully they can make some more shotgun passes, spread them out, and maybe let him. It sounds crazy, but maybe let him throw the ball a little bit more early on in the game, like spread him out and like let him throw, and then bring the run back. Because I think the Chiefs are gonna try to do the same thing. I think they're gonna try to play 5 across the board, stop the zone run game, because the film's out on Bo Hardegree now, so he's got to adjust too. So we'll see how he adjusts. I'll show a couple plays where they were just ready for the Raiders. So defensively was interesting to watch. I thought they played a lot of bend don't break. They were great on third down, which is a key part of this game. But they didn't stop that one play. That was kind of frustrating. The Dolphins run one play, they let the Dolphins just run it over and over and over and over again, and that's why Tua had 300 yards. So that was interesting, a little weird that they kind of felt like they weren't ready for that play. But they're so good on third down, and they had 3 turnovers that they were able to keep the Raiders in the game. But if they didn't have those turnovers, man, it might have been a different football game. So yeah, I think this just the idea of playing kind of the same coverage every week is kind of the thing that is missing for me. Is like we got to adjust it. If you ain't got the players to adjust, you got to take those players out. You know what I mean? So I thought Jack Jones looked pretty decent out there. He just looked a lot tougher, I guess, as a corner on the other side. But it's interesting that Marcus Peters never came off the field. They did a 3-man rotation with Jacorian Bennett. Who's the other guy that plays the other side? I forgot. Nate Hobbs played outside, or they would have Hobbs outside, and they would have Jack Jones out there, and then they move Hobbs inside. But I thought it was a pretty good tandem when they had Hall inside and Hobbs outside. So, if my opinion, I think they should go Hobbs, Hall, Jones. But it's not. I don't run the team, so that's just my opinion on that. But we'll see how that goes. But enough talking. I see talk about Jack Jones a little bit, but enough talking about that. Let's just get into the film. Let's start with the offense. We're gonna do some offense first. We'll check it out. All right. Get my face out of here. Let me ask you. Do you guys? Is it better like this? You guys are watching. What is better, this one or my face totally out of it? I'm just like, you guys let me know. I got you guys here interactive. You let me know how you guys like it. Because some people complain about having my face in here, but most people do it like this. So it's interesting. All right, let's just do it the other way. Let's see. Let's go. Let's get it. Yeah, this is cool. Okay. All right. So you kind of like it. I'm doing switch it up. Let's do it with the face then. Let's do it like this. All right. So we're gonna start with the running game first. All right. So we're start with basically how these looks, and this is the look they basically got most of the game on first down. The Raiders are running the ball about 51% of the time on first down right now. So it's a little predictable. The little 50-50. That's what I was talking about. Maybe they need to pass more on first down and get these teams and start spreading them out from some of these 12 personnel. You can get Michael Mayer and Austin Hooper. They're both pass catchers. You could spread them out. You could do 2x2s with those guys, and they might have to mix this up. So you see exactly how they're playing this right here, right? So we got outside zone here, right? So we get an outside zone run. And you see Chubb, what he's doing, he's playing the cutback. So he is coming and playing the cutback at all times, right? And we don't get this much push from James here. Not a lot of push from these guys, but you see Chubb, he's coming right back to take that cutback, right? And be there ready to make that tackle. Illuminor's getting his butt kicked a little bit too. He's not really getting any push there. But you see Chubb, he's right there to take the cutback. This is how teams are going to play them when they're an outside zone team at this point, right? You're going to see a lot of this. All right, so next one, you see it here again. Another run play. You get an over front, right? I got in trouble calling this bear, but whatever. It's funny on Twitter, but this is the over front, right? You got the over front here. Once again for the zone run, right? And this time we're getting outside split zone. Maybe kind of mix it up to get some blocking right there, but you see James is getting blown up, right? So it doesn't even matter, right? Parham doesn't really. I think he should have held his block a little bit more before he rose up to the linebacker, kind of help James because James does not have good leverage there, and then let Jacobs work from there. But it runs right into 92, kind of just blows that up, and then of course Chubb, who was working Illuminor all game, he just was working him all game in the run game, just setting the edge, able to come back, and make that tackle on Josh Jacobs. So yeah, they use Chubbs a lot of different ways. So he was a big factor in this game was Bradley Chubb. So here we go again, but this time it's only 4, but it's kind of the same alignment though. Okay, but when you look at these boxes, in my opinion, they're usually the lightest boxes in the world. The Raiders they should have been able to run the ball in this game because this is at the end of the day, this is a light ass box. This is 6 in the box. They're playing too high, right? And that's what Vic Fangio likes to do. And the Raiders weren't able to run the ball. It's actually kind of sad, to be honest. So here we get some inside zone here. And you just see James is on the floor already. Mumford, who had a good game this past week, he's getting beat right here. And it's really nowhere for Jacobs to go. Chubb is pushing Illuminor back. So Jacobs has to try to bounce it, try to get back inside. He finds a way to get some pretty good yards there. He gets 5. But that's more Josh Jacobs than anybody else, right? Right. Van Roden has a pretty good block there to kind of help it. So is Parham getting up there. But you kind of see there's not too much push from these guys right now. You just expect them to win, and when you get those type of boxes, man. Or, maybe they got to switch it up. If you're getting these type of boxes against the Chiefs, they got to run some more power football, which, this team is ready for it. They've been running it all year. All right, so see this once again, and you got these spread alignments, okay? They got these wide 9s, right? And, these guys are standing straight up. Like, look how far to the side Chubb is, right? I mean, this is playing cutbacks. And what this also does when the Raiders do these condensed sets, it gets Jalen Phillips on Hunter Renfrow or Jacoby Myers, which is just not fair. Okay. So we'll see it on this one. All right. So a little mid zone on this one. You see Jalen Phillips is going right past Renfrow and Hooper. This just puts Renfrow in a bad position. He's trying to block Jalen Phillips. He does an okay job just getting his back in front of him. But then you see on the other side here, right? 72 gets blown up. He blows him right up into Chubb, who then Illuminor falls, and then Bradley Chubb makes a play. So really, this became like a Bradley Chubb highlight reel on offense when you're watching the offense here. Because here's another Bradley Chubb play. Here we go. It's just like a highlight reel here for Bradley Chubb. So here we go. A little duo this time. We're doing a little duo. So this isn't a Bradley Chubb play, but this is what I'm talking about. We're getting Hunter Renfrow on Jalen Phillips. We don't want this. We do not want Hunter Renfrow on Jalen Phillips. It's just not good. But that's what the Dolphins' game plan was. They were going to spread us out. We do these condensed sets and try to run the football. They're going to spread these guys out, these wide alignment with these what they call outside linebackers, edge rushers, whatever the hell you want to call them. And this is the 3rd and 1, I believe. So this is a big play in the game. They're trying to get a run play. Of course, Mumford gets Wilkins just beats the hell out of him right there. Merritt does a great job at helping though. But then you get Hunter Renfrow on Jalen Phillips. It's just not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. All right. So one more here. So, some of it was on Jacobs too a little bit. Now, to me, Jacobs just got to hit this hole and just go straight forward and get 5 or 6. Instead, he tries to go for a home run. I mean, this is pretty good blocking. This is probably the best blocking they had all game in the run game, and he decided to bounce it. So, sometimes it was Jacobs, and that's a great tackle by Xavier Howard. Maybe he thought he had a chance at a one-on-one there. But, yeah, you see those type of plays, man, where Jacobs has to do the right thing. So I want to talk about this reverse here, okay? So this was a big play in the game, too. The Raiders just got a pretty good first down here. It's first down and 10, and they end up losing 7 yards here. But kind of this is what I talk about the Dolphins being ready for them. So you see the kind of the wide alignments again, right? These guys are wide alignments. They're trying to get these condensed slot receivers on Jalen Phillips. They're all trying to set this up here. But watch number 4 here on this blitz, okay? Because the Raiders have been running these reverses for a while, okay? For these past 2 games with Trey Tucker. And just number 4 doesn't even, to me, in my opinion, he doesn't even try to go after Jacobs. He's going right for the reverse. You know what I mean? So those type of things are happening, and the Raiders have to adjust. And that's why you lose 7 yards on that play. Because they knew the reverse was coming based on that. They had an idea. All right? So let's get into the passing game. Let's get into Aiden O'Connell here in the passing game a little bit. So we're going to start off with some of the play actions they were running. They didn't do too well in play action this game, keep it real, because a lot of the 2-man routes just didn't fit what the Dolphins like to do on defense, right? And I'm going to keep it real. Because you saw a lot of these 2-man routes on play action. And, I mean, they keep a lot of guys in the secondary, man. It's not going to work all the time. But you see right here, Tucker, they're worried about the speed of Tucker. And what I liked about this a little bit was we got him on some more shorter routes here. Let me get a good throw there from O'Connell. Some good timing there. Ball's out right before he's out of his break. It's a good throw. But, the route's a little funky. We'll talk about that later. But but that's just Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker, he's a little stiff. He's a stiff guy. He's not going to be the most fluid runner. So, he's running full speed. It's going to be a little harder for him to stop. So, I mean, this is, pretty good work by the offensive line here, but you're still seeing Bradley Chubb. He's blowing up the 2 tight ends there, which he should as a defensive end. All right, let's get to this next one. Of course, this is the touchdown pass here. Like I said, a lot of 2-man routes. There was, man, a lot of 2-man routes against some of these coverages. And, they end up beating this one. A great read by Aiden O'Connell, but it's also the route too, based on what they're doing and how they're playing quarters here, right? So the route combination kind of makes this work as well. So we're getting Devontae Adams here running that post route and getting the little comeback kind of out route from Jacoby Myers. So we get play action. You see the quarters coverage. I brought this up on the one play breakdown, but you see Michael Mayer kind of influence this safety, right? The safety, he's expecting a route, so he kind of just drops a little bit. Once he drops, you see right here, Jalen Ramsey, he is, he's playing kind of, his part of the zone, but also his part of the zone. So his quarters is kind of like a man-to-man coverage, right? Technically, kind of, right? He has to stop here with Jacoby Myers, right? But once that happens, Aiden O'Connell does a good job. He sees that and he throws it over their heads. Now, which makes this throw kind of crazy is, Devontae Adams beats both these safeties, and this safety has a terrible angle, and it's just a great throw by O'Connell there. That's O'Connell with the throw beating the coverage. And this game, it started so well. Game started so well, guys. A little bit more on this one. Play action. It's a great throw. All right. So some more good throws here. This is the play to Hunter Renfrow. I thought this is probably one of the best processing I saw from O'Connell. I mean, that was pretty good processing there, but you saw some good processing on this one too. So what you're going to see is he's going to open up looking at for Adams here, right? Adams is not open. There's a good job. He actually has a clean pocket for once in this game. So he does a good job of going through his reads and hitting Renfrow in the second level right there. And Renfrow does everything after the catch. You watch it from this side, though. You see O'Connell, right? He does a good job keeping his feet. His feet don't come together, and just making a good, accurate throw right on the money for Yak. It's a great throw. So yeah, we're starting with the positive, O'Connell here. We're starting positive here, guys. So here's another one to Trey Tucker. I like this read here, right? I mean, because he could have went to Adams. He could have. Adams is wide open here too, based on what they're running, right? I mean, they're running quarters, so this guy's kind of expecting this guy to drive and help with Adams. He could do to Adams, but since this guy is driving, and you see how Jalen Ramsey, he's so worried about Trey Tucker's speed, it makes it an easy throw there for O'Connell, and we get to the second read there, which is the right read, right? This is a good job of O'Connell reading the field. And he does a good job of this, like I said, out of shotgun and when he has time. So we see it when we're here. Shotgun. Able to anticipate that throw, hit it right at the window. First down. All right, so 3rd and 5 here. Now we're getting a little, we call this flat 7. I mean, that's what they really call it. Basic NFL terminology, football terminology, flat 7, right? So you get the 7, which is the corner, and then you get a flat, right? So we're getting double digs on the other side here, but he's working the flat 7. We're getting cover 6 here, right? So we'll switch up, but this is a great throw by O'Connell here too. This is what I talk about. He got time, but there was pressure coming, so he had to kind of shorten his release, but it's still on the money with plenty of velocity right there. And that's why he has to start, because there's nobody on this team that can make this throw. There's nobody else on this team. Jimmy Garoppolo can't do this. You know what I mean? So even if they put Garoppolo back in, people are thinking about that. You got all these guys on the floor. Oh my God, they're so bad against stunts this game. Right, but this is a textbook stunt here. Just take out 2 guys, leave Christian Wilkins right there, and O'Connell under pressure still gets a good ball right there to Devontae Adams. All right, so let's go over the not so great. Okay, now this play I got on Brian Hoyer for missing on it too, and then Aiden O'Connell went and missed on it. This is a Patriot staple, staple of Erhard Perkins or whatever you want to call it. I mean, we get these Gronk plays where he it's a play action, and based on the coverage, if it's single high, he can go inside. If it's too high, he can go on a seam. Now we're getting single high, right? So play action, get single high. That's where Michael Mayer goes. He's open, guys. That's NFL open. O'Connell's a quick release. He can make that throw. Number 2 is not getting there, right? He's got to make that throw. But he doesn't. Maybe he thinks number 2 is going to get there. I'm not sure. maybe number 8, or no, that's number 2, number 8 or whatever. I can't see his numbers. Javon Holland there. But you see it from the backside is a little bit more, what I would say, egregious, like Stephen A. Smith. So you see the play action, boom, right there, throw the ball. And this, I mean, they ended up kicking the field goal off this. I mean, so that was one play that I noticed, right? I mean, maybe he's thinking Javon Holland can get there, and kind of like a rookie, because you see right here, he's looking at Holland, right? But that's where you just got to be decisive and just get rid of this football. And maybe he thought Holland's going to get there. Maybe he thought this guy over the top's going to get there. Maybe, I'm not sure, but he's got to make that throw. All right, here we go. Next play here. So here's the interception. So we'll talk about this one a little bit. So we're getting motion, right? Kind of a, speed motion here. They ran this last week. I talked about them adding a dig to this at first, the Jets, and they did it. So I really appreciate it. It's kind of basically the same play that they run with Tyreek Hill. But, Trey Tucker's not Tyreek Hill, okay? So on this, we get a clean pocket here, but it's just too many steps from Trey Tucker, and he rounds it, okay? So it does make it a harder throw here, but he is open. And maybe he's thinking that he's going to go flat here. He's going to throw it. But even if he goes flat here, he's still going to be running this way. He's going to have to stop. So, I mean, Ramsey's going to have a shot to break that up, and he ends up getting a pick. And you're going to see it from the back end. We're talking about feet here because, I mean, this is a lot have to do with that. That's a lot to do with feet and the way you're pointing things and where you throw. So we'll see it from this side here. Let me get to the back. Okay. So you see it from this side. All right. So now, he's looking at Adams on the post. And then when he probably basically gets his feet to where he's throwing this football, right? So he throws it where his feet is pointing. But we needed him to keep pointing towards Adams and throw the ball here. Because if he keeps his feet, in my opinion, I could be wrong about this. I'm not the superstar expert here, but if he keeps his feet this way, like he's throwing at Adams, right? Because with the pressure too, and him not getting the velocity he needs, I think that maybe a little bit to do with it, him getting hit. But I think it's the feet too, and where he's pointing his, you know what I'm saying? It's picked. You just got to throw it up here, over here. So, all right. So here is the 4th and 2 play. I talked about this a little bit on Twitter, but you kind of can see the route combinations we're getting, what we call, which somebody got an argument with me about this. Is hilarious. Gotti, right? I mean, this is a typical play. They run this play all the time. It's stop or out and a go. And then we got a kind of a choice route from Hunter Renfrow, and then we get a dig above it, okay? So, I mean, it's like we got Erhard Perkins, West Coast up over these plays. So on this one, when we get the drop back here, you figure based on how this looks that you got to go to Mayer, right? You go to Mayer. I mean, Myers is not open. He's basically getting pushed out of bounds. And, I figure Aiden O'Connell could see this, but I don't know if he's expecting like I don't know what he's expecting here, to be honest, on that throw. I don't know what he was expecting. But you see it from, I mean, everybody, this is man-to-man across the board. I mean, everybody really else is open, because even if he, let's say he got the ball quick to Jacobs here, right? He just threw it to Jacobs really quick, right off the bat, like boom, sit at the drop, throw to Jacobs. Maybe this guy is coming down. He might be tackling Jacobs, but Jacobs one-on-one with the safety. I'm taking Jacobs every single time. That's my chance right there, right? But even Michael Mayer does a good job of getting physical, getting open. And that play's there, man. So we'll see it from this side. So Aiden O'Connell did talk about him missing open receivers. So, I was. So, I mean, I'm not the only one. Because I know if he was looking at Renfrow, this guy probably comes over. I'm going to keep it real. If he's looking at Renfrow, the safety probably comes over, right? But, he still has Mayer over here. Boom. If that ball's already out, he's throwing it to Mayer. That's a first down with a good throw. Mayer's a tough guy. I think he can bring that in. But instead, we force it. Doesn't look good. All right, 4th and 6 here. Kind of getting, I really like this play call, but he doesn't really get it off. He can't get it off because of the pressure. But, because we're getting Trey Tucker here. I mean, he kind of opened to the wrong side. So I think he wants to go to Jacobs here, but they do a good job of covering that up. And by the time he does that, I mean, the offensive line already messed it up because, if he opened to this side, I mean, Trey Tucker is about to, he's about to go over the top to the corner of this. The safety doesn't have the leverage to get there. There's a lot of things that are going to happen if the offensive line did their job, but they didn't. So that kind of blew up this play, which is basically most of this game was the offensive line just getting their butts kicked on these studs. And then Mumford, he's going too far inside. And it just messes up everything. Because let's say if O'Connell had time, I mean, these guys are so worried about Devontae Adams, right? O'Connell could reset, and he's aggressive. He'd probably throw that ball to Tucker. And I mean, and it's a tie game, guys. That's a tie game. That one's on the offensive line to me. All right, so here's another one here. This is a big miss to Adams here. We get the we're getting the in route from Renfro, and then ready to get the fake in route. So they get a fake what they call 10 here. And then, man, does he work him. But Aiden O'Connell, he just missed this throw, man. He just missed it. This is just put too much air under it. Just got to throw it to him, man. It really didn't make a difference in the long run, but yeah, see what we happen, what we get. We got a heel click. You don't want heel clicks, guys. That's how you're inaccurate. All right, so the last one here. Talk about the play to Trey Tucker, right? All right, so what we're getting double posts. Okay, we're getting double posts. We're getting Myers on a post. We're getting Tucker on a post, right? So when they switch here, okay, when they end up switching, I mean, so it puts Jalen Ramsey on Tucker. I mean, basically because the coverage. I'm playing quarters here. All right, now, like I said, a little bit of cover 6-2 because Howard, he's already expecting this ball to be out. And, okay, now you got to mind you, okay, there's like what? How many? I don't know how many seconds left for this. Like 40 seconds, 50 seconds, I think. Okay, and it's second down. And this is greedy as hell. If you're watching this, I mean, you guys just looking at this, this is greedy on second down. I mean, even if you're going to throw the ball up, I mean, I'd rather him throw it here because his safety's here. Maybe he can fit it in there. I don't know because he has plenty of time here. But he tries to test Jalen Ramsey, the Trey Tucker. And, and it ended up being like a jump ball. I think Tucker kind of misjudged it too. So maybe if Tucker, it was just a bad decision. Because Abdullah's wide open too. I mean, Abdullah gets what? Like he gets a nice little 10 here. You get to Abdullah, he gets 10 outside, gets out of bounds. We're at the 30, Greedy. That's what I call that, guys. That is called greedy. There's just plenty of time, man. So that's the offense there. What do you guys think about that? I got any comments on here? So do we keep Bo Hardegree? Man, Hope Colton is back. Full screen. Okay. Full screen. All right. So Tucker should have cut off his route in the end zone instead of running behind Ramsey, especially being short. Yeah. So AOC playing hero ball there. A lot of hero ball. We need definitely Colton Miller back. So especially with Aiden O'Connell, because I saw a lot of good Aiden O'Connell. Let's keep it real. I showed a lot of good there. And I think there's some elements to him that are good, but there's just some things in like the modern NFL that are just going to frustrate you because he can't move that much. So when you have some of those pressures, especially like the free one, like the one on 4th and 6, right? You got that pressure. A more athletic guy can probably get outside the pocket and beat Christian Wilkins outside when he's coming right at him. He could probably just to where he was at, he could get outside of Christian Wilkins and then maybe hit Trey Tucker on the run, like those. And then, it sucks for, pocket passers and those type of old school guys, but it's just the truth of the modern NFL, man. You got more Thayer Mumfords out there than you got, a lot of these superstars are not running the ball. So you have a free guy coming at you. you might have to get outside that pocket and make a play on a run, and make a throw on a run. And it is what it is. But those are the type of things. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say my critique of Bo this game. I think Bo wasn't ready for how the Dolphins were going to play them. You know, I think they were still depending on the element of surprise. And after 2 weeks, man, there's nothing surprising anymore. I mean, it's just like regular NFL seasons. A lot of these teams. We could all talk about 2017. Man, we thought the Raiders were about to be the best offense in the world. Well, we just ignored the small hitches they were running all the time because it was working because nobody knew what Todd Downing was going to do. And then they went out to Washington and got destroyed. You know what I mean? So it is interesting too, man. So the field goals thing is there too, but nice show that on film. I mean, also if AOC executes, we're not talking about them going field goals. So yeah, and Michael talk about. I agree with that. He needs to dink and dunk a little bit more. Kind of play. I don't want to say this. Not try to play hero ball. You try to play hero. No, man, don't be the hero, bro. Just play within the offense and do that too. So yeah, man. Yeah, we need to reel him in a little bit. He needs to be reeled in because this is like the play to Abdullah, man. You got to throw that ball to Abdullah, in my opinion, because you throw the ball to Abdullah, just 40, 50 seconds left, throwing it to him, and then just let him get out of bounds. Right? He gets out of bounds. We're back at the 30. There's still about 40 seconds left. You don't have to force the ball. Then you can get closer. You can get closer and closer. You know what I mean? And there's chances for them to do that. And yeah, I think he just got greedy, man. I mean, he had too much time in the pocket or something. He's got his first clean pocket. He's like, I'm gonna throw a touchdown at Trey Tucker against the best corner in football. So, or one of the best corners of football. So, any other offensive questions for getting the defense? I'm gonna do some. We're gonna look at Luke Masterson this week, and I'm gonna look at basically the secondary overall, kind of what they did, and kind of shut down to it a little bit. So, yeah, it kind of is. It might be Jaden Daniels' season. It might be. He, but he might get better though. Like I said, there's some elements there that I really like. Like the throw to Devontae Adams. That was a great throw. You know what I mean? And that was under pressure. And that was in the clutch. Yeah. And that's true. We need more touches for Jacobs. I think they didn't get him involved in the passing game like they did against the Jets. They didn't get him the pass touches. So, and I think they got to run some power football this week. They didn't run a strictly zone. They got to get power. They got to get some power football going this week. Kind of mix that up a little bit. What type of offense should they run? I'm not gonna say the offense they run is bad. I just think they got to get rid of they got to get out of the 2-man route thing, man. I think there's a lot of too many 2-man routes. So there's a lot more that I didn't show. There's a lot of 2-man routes in this game, and they weren't working. I mean, they worked early on, kind of in the first drive, but after that, man, not at all. So I think they got to get back to being a little bit more spread out. I think they got to do a little more 12 personnel. 11 personnel, and I think they got to pass spread out of 12 this week to kind of catch teams off guard. So you'll get Michael Mayer and Austin Hooper out there, do a shotgun where you got those guys spread out, and you could kind of use them in the passing game. You know what I mean? Austin Hooper, he can catch. He's a passing catching tight end more than a blocking tight end. So, Michael Mayer, same way. So get those guys spread out in 12 personnel. These teams, they come out in these more like, they're not base packages, but they got like 5 linemen, and you spread them out. Like you might get one of those defensive linemen based on the rules out on Austin, on Michael Mayer. And that's a great one-on-one. And you can hit these guys up the seams and stuff like that. Got those plays like Haas and those type of plays that you can run out of 12 personnel with those tight ends and make plays. So, yeah. They're trying to. That was a lot of it. I think they're a little worried about they're worried about the Dolphins defensive line for sure. It's called max protection. So, yeah, man. Yeah, they got it. They got about kind of that like air raid. Air raid is kind of like basically, I mean, air raid is basically the West Coast offense with a lot of passing. So I mean, even was it Hal Mummy or whatever his name is, and they learned that from Bill Walsh. So I mean, kind of got to do that, man. I don't know. It'll be really interesting if they do some more West Coast stuff this week, but that's my opinion. They got to go 12 personnel and spread them out, because then you can have Jacoby Myers, Michael Mayer, Austin Hooper, Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, and that's not bad, really, out of 12. It really isn't, And then mix it up. Maybe do Hunter Renfrow instead of Jacoby Myers, and you maybe then you put Michael Mayer outside, and you get Michael Mayer outside one-on-one. So those type of things, you know what I mean? So, all right. Yeah, I know what you mean by that. I know what you mean by the air raid. He's good with quick passes, kind of spread them out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the same thing I'm talking about, though. You spread them out. You can run a lot of plays out of the spread and move the tight ends around. They got to do stuff like that. What do they have to do to beat the Chiefs this week? I think mostly I think the Chiefs defense is going to stop them a little bit. But, it sounds crazy. But, they really got to stop the Chiefs from running the football and get the Chiefs one-dimensional. Because the Chiefs cannot pass right now. They're not a good passing team. So, and this is an interesting question. Should Trey Tucker be in the field more than Jacoby or Hunter? I would say no, in my opinion. I think they got to use him more timely or get him on the field when there's like 3 guys out there. I think it works in the play actions at times. And I like how they're switching up the routes on him and keep the teams honest that way. But yeah, they got to mix it up. But like RPO stuff, that stuff's just not in this offense right now. So we're talking about this would be a totally different offense. They start running RPOs. I mean, which would be cool. I don't mind that stuff, but they don't do that stuff this week, man. But to beat the Chiefs, they got to get the Chiefs one-dimensional and get these guys and make them pass. To be honest, because I think the Raiders can control them in the pass game a little bit. Just like I said, this sounds nuts, but I think it's true. All right, so let's get a defense. All right, this Marcus breaking down some defense. It'll be interesting, right? I'm classically trained by B.D. Williams, so I think I got this, guys. I got this. All right, so let's get this going on defense here. All right, here you go. Defense. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do the defense here. All right. So, we're watching, a little bit of my man Luke here. We're watching Mr. Masterson. Yeah, Luke, what he did. We started off with his fumble. I thought he had a really good game. Okay, he's like I said, him and Spillane had a good game too, playing the run. I don't know what they did to Spillane, but they got him playing physical, and I really like what they're doing here with him. But this is all about Luke Masterson to start off. So I mean, this is good coverage. I mean, they're in cover 3 here, right? So I mean, they got basically everything covered up. I mean, he could have threw this ball to Hill, but I don't know why he didn't. Hill's like wide open. Hill's even looking around. He's like, why are you not throwing the ball to me? But it's fine, right? We want Tua to not be able to read the field, so they did a good job there. But this is all Luke Masterson, right? I mean, he tries to move inside, and Masterson just pulls that ball out with that tackle. Look at that. This is a great play. Great. Let's have a play there. So watch it here. From this angle. Right. A little bit of pressure inside. I really don't know why Spillane didn't jump on this football. That's a different story. I mean, we can talk about it a different day, but it's kind of funny. All right, and the Raiders are playing the run really well right now. I think that's a big thing that people aren't talking about, and why they're playing better defense overall is because they're stopping the run, making these teams have 3rd and longs, and they're playing well on 3rd down. But watching Masterson here on this one, see how instinctive he is. Right, gets his outside zone, and you see how physical he is. And him and Spillane just kind of team up on this one. Boom, he's running into Alec Ingold. You see kind of Spillane kind of missed that tackle. But you just watch Masterson, just how he's right in that gap. kind of closes it up a little bit. You wish Nichols or somebody come over the top and kind of finish this, but you see he's getting pushed back a little bit. Right. But I mean, this plays more on Spillane. Spillane's got to make that tackle. Right. And then you expect kind of Tillery to get off that block too. So that's really on Masterson. Maybe you want Masterson kind of not just play physical there and get in there and trying to make a tackle there, but see a little better from this angle. All right, kind of get physical there. I mean, that's on Spillane's got to make that tackle, right? I mean, that's what he's expecting, but maybe you want Masterson not to be just a physical and just try to run over Alec Ingold because he made that block really easy for him. But then this play only got 3 yards though, so it's still a pretty good run play right there. All right, here we go. Next one, some more outside zone here, and then just Masterson just shoots it right here, right? And this kind of forces the cutback. And it's a good play. You know, he misses the tackle. He does miss this tackle, but it forced the cutback to all the players inside. So, you know, Masterson, he's just a good run defender, right? You know, Raheem Morris is not the easiest guy to tackle in the field. You kind of see made the cut inside, made a more difficult tackle, arm tackle, but then you have the other guys cleaning up because they do such a good job on the defensive line here. So, because the Raiders are kind of doing the same thing that they're doing. They have the 5 across on the over front, play the outside zone runs. And of course, Max Crosby, you know, he just kind of blows the play a little bit. He maybe went too far inside, but, you know, that's Max. We're not going to – we just let Max be a beast out there. Here we go again. So on that side, but she does a good job by everybody else. Helps everybody clean up. Kind of forces the cut back there. Right back to his teammates. So, I mean, he didn't play that many snaps. But saw some effectiveness here. Right? Right? There's he is right there on the play right there. And, you know, I like his willingness to take on. He's not scared to take on offensive linemen. Right? And that's what you want in a linebacker. He just get physical with 74. It's a good job by John Jenkins. I mean, actually, he's getting pushed back a little bit. But, of course, it's Crosby making a play. And you got Tyler Hall and those guys coming in to finish here. So watch from the defensive side here. You know, taking somebody off. And, of course, you know, Max Crosby's just a freak. Just bit it through right there. But you see Masterson does a good job there, maintaining his gap, getting the tackle. So there's just consistency there from Masterson there. Right. Now, they couldn't stop Tyreek Hill, which is a big deal here. They could not stop Tyreek Hill at all. And here they played a lot of single high. They didn't play a lot of single high, but when they did, I mean, the Dolphins really made them pay with Tyreek Hill. So this is not bad coverage from Nate Hobbs. It's actually pretty good, right? Good transition here to play the ball. Maybe you want him to drive forward a little bit more here, but, you know, you play the ball. It's just a great catch from Tyreek Hill, who got his hands down quick, so they couldn't pull the ball out. That's just one of the best wide receivers in football. Sometimes you just can't stop that, guys. Let's see what they're doing with the pass rush here. Let's show the pass rush. Go back a little bit. They're doing the same thing. Like I said, the outside zone. We got over front two as well here. And of course, Maxey just goes right around Armstead really quick, but Tua was getting rid of that ball quick, man, which is kind of a little frustrating to watch, but you saw a lot of the elements of, you know, what you saw from them on film, and I feel like they just weren't ready for it, which is just frustrating to me. So here we go on this one. This is the Marcus Peters kind of lackadaisical play right here. So on this touchdown, you see how quick Tua gets rid of that football. That ball's already out, man. Even by the time Max touches Armstead, it can make a move. That ball's already gone. And, you know, Moreg, he takes a bad angle, but Marcus Peters thinks it's going to be overthrown, I guess. So he stopped. I don't know. Maybe he thought he was going to get a pick. But no, you didn't get a pick there, bro. He jumped and caught that ball and then accelerated for 6. So like you got to just, this is Tyreek Hill, man. You just go tackle him, right? I mean, if you, I know you want to play the tips and overthrows, but, right? And maybe that's what he's thinking. He's thinking he's about to get that interception, and that ball's high, but that's a great catch from Tyreek Hill. And it's 6. So it wasn't as much lackadaisical, It still was not the greatest effort, but it made a little bit more sense when I watched it on film that, he's thinking that's going to be a pick. Even though that's what Marcus Peters, he's out there on the field for. He wants an interception. Nope. Tyreek Hill's going to jump and catch that ball and take it for 6. That's just how it goes. And then, like I said, the pass rush doesn't have a chance to get to him. And they only rushed 3 on this one, too. Easy. All right, and this throw was, like I said, here we go, cover 3 again, kind of. I mean, in a little bit of quarters, I would say, because, I mean, just because he's this low doesn't exactly mean that it's full on cover 3 a little bit, but it's like a little bit of a mixture. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's cover 3, right? So since you got Peters here and you got Cobbs coming to the flat here, and Morik did come down even with this drop, but this is just another great throw by Tua, right? With the anticipation, he just beats the coverage right to Tyreek Hill, because even Morik, he has a chance to kind of get back to this play, and I still think that Marcus Peters has to squeeze here. I don't know what he's not squeezing. I mean, we've seen this play on film all the time. They're not that deep. This team isn't that deep. The Dolphins, they're not that deep. And I don't know if they keep it simple for Tua, but he's got to squeeze this. Marcus Peters has to squeeze this, man. You already see him breaking inside. I don't know what you're expecting. He's a little bit of a liability out there, in my opinion, sometimes. Because, I mean, you want Tua to hold this damn football. You can kind of see how quickly Tua was getting rid of this football, and they couldn't get any pass rush because of it. So here's another one. They're getting this pass rush here, because you see Max, he's getting some push. Kuntz is, he did all right on Armstead, and even Wilson is pushing his pocket. So if they could hold and made him hold his football a little bit longer than 2 seconds, there might have been a little bit more pressure in this game. But nope, getting big plays. Also, like I said, I showed this play 800 times on film, and they just could not stop this play. It was just frustrating to watch, man. The wheel and the flat. I mean, if you watched the preview, you saw this play 800 times. The Raiders, they just couldn't stop it. Spillane almost got there this time. I mean, they're in quarters here. Spillane almost got it, but it's there, right there. First down. Easy completion for Tua. I mean, Tua literally threw 300 yards on this play. I'm not going to show it so many angles, but he literally threw 300 yards just off this same play. Here we go again. Raiders aren't ready for it, right? I mean, it's made it so simple. I mean, Tua probably even went to the wheel on this one. He could have. They were not ready for this play at all, which it was a little frustrating. Because if they were ready for this play, I think the Raiders, I mean, I don't know if the Dolphins would have scored any points, to be honest. It's just, and like you see here, I mean, they're playing the run so much, and they're not playing these guys in the flats. It's just, it's frustrating. All right, so here's another one. Same play. They run this play over and over again, and nobody's squeezing this guy. I don't know if they were so worried about this wheel route. I mean, but that's what Morik's for here, right? I think, like, look at this. It's the same damn play over and over again. 300 yards passing. This is how you manufacture. So I call him Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0. This is a manufactured 330 yards right there, and keeps the Raiders from getting any pressure. They just weren't. I just felt like they weren't ready for this at all, and I don't know why. So, but in the red zone, I mean, they really clinched up in other areas here. So, I talked a lot of shit about Marcus Peters early on, but I want to show you guys something, okay? Marcus Peters here, which you watch. He obviously watches a lot of film. He's a film guy. See how he's pointing? Who is he pointing to? He's pointing to Nate Hobbs. What is he telling Nate Hobbs? There's a screen coming. So you see his hand up. There's a screen coming, Nate. And then Hobbs is able to go make that play. So you know, we get on Marcus Peters a lot here, but this is the element that he brings, is the film, right? He's here comes the screen. Screen's coming. Screen's coming. There's a screen coming. Hobbs makes a play. They get off the field on 4th down. Big play. That's Marcus Peters, man. You hate on Peters a lot. but that's him. You just wish you would tackle and show more effort. You know what I mean? Like, you show the effort of the field. You show in film. You watch film here. All right, so here's another play here. Now they're getting pressure here, and they force him out of the pocket. So you know, when they're able on 3rd down to get pressure, I mean, Adam Butler here, he wins. I mean, it's forcing Tua out of the pocket. Tua, he has some places to go here, in my opinion, but it's forcing him out of the pocket. This is what you want from him throwing on the run, and of course you have Max getting a little extra push at the end. I guess they're getting prepared for that in Hard Knocks. You're playing the ultimate Raider, bro. Max Crosby. He's gonna be a little dirty. That's Raider football, dog. Get used to it, man. Stop being little whips. He tugs on me after the play. Little wimpies. Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes will be crying about that this week too. All right, here's another 3rd down here. And this is the Spillane play, and this is what I'm talking about here. When they finally actually got ready for the flat play, here, it took them a whole 4 quarters, but we're gonna stop the flat play. We even got Jacorian Bennett outside. You guys see this? Oh, look who's inside. Is that Jacorian Bennett? Or must be about Diablo? I can't see these players. So they finally get into the zone. Like, wow. And then, you know, Spillane almost gets a pick. It's frustrating. I'm sorry for me to watch that, because they literally ran the same play over and over and over again, guys. And they were just moving up at the field, up and down on the Raiders. And the Raiders would get to these situations in these closer areas where they couldn't really run this play with that much space, as you can see here. And Spillane does a good job of getting to that football. Almost was a pick. Almost catches that ball. You know, Adam Butler was winning, man, but this dude's getting rid of the ball so damn quick. It don't matter when you're getting rid of the ball as quick. So last play here, 3rd down. You get a good stunt here from the Raiders. Malcolm Koonce getting some pressure, which they were able to get some pressure on 3rd down, forcing a bad throw here because that guy is open. So, you know, what coverage we getting here? All right. A little bit of cover 3 again. Hall in the flat. Hobbs here, right? Playing his 3rd. You get Morrig coming down. And, I mean, this guy is open, but we getting some pressure from the stunt they run. Makes a bad throw. It would have been a tight throw, though, too. Tyler Hall, man. When they have Hobbs, Hall, Peters over there, I mean, you know, I don't want to be too much of a fan of Peters, but you know what I mean. And there's Koonce there, right? Forces the pressure, forces him to get off the field. So on 3rd down, they were really good. And, you know, it took them a while to adjust to that play. But, man, yeah. So, I mean, that was the defense. I mean, you got any questions here? What are we looking at? Man. Sit Marcus Peters. Stick. So see, there's a lot of Peters here, man. Yeah, you know, to be honest, man, I think he should be the coach. I think he should be the secondary coach. You know, hire Peters, secondary coach, because he made that one play. You know what I'm saying? So it's that was frustrating. I mean, because the play to Hobbs made the 4th down. That's Marcus Peters, right? And that's the dynamic that you have with him, and that's why he plays. So it is gonna be hard for him to take him out. But I think they should. I think they should go Hall, Hobbs, Jones. That would be me, right? I agree with this. You need to start over Divine. I really like how the defense played though. Damn. Yeah. I like how Patrick Graham played. St. Marcus Peters. Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. What we got here in the comments? Do I think Tyree Wilson's a bust? No. I just think I think he needs time to grow, man. He's always going to be a little bit of a project, which is the frustrating part of it. But yeah, I thought he looks better when they move him inside on pass rushing. He's able to push the pocket a little bit. It's just when Tua is getting rid of the ball like 2 seconds. It might make a little bit of a difference this week, against Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes does get rid of the ball quicker than he used to, but he's also going to try to make some plays. So if Crosby can not over pursue and not let him out of the pocket, maybe if Wilson's pushing the pocket like he was this game, it might make a little bit of a difference there. So yeah, yeah. I'm about to Jared Canteen from Virginia Tech. Man, your picture is crazy, man. I don't want to put that up there. True Raiders predicting Kuntz gets 1.5 sacks. Yeah, they did really bad, man. They messed us up with the. Any thoughts on center? Keep hearing snaps backs are slow. Yeah, James snaps have been slow for years, man, since 2021. So that's not going to change. His snaps are really slow. That's something I pointed out on Twitter like a long time ago. But Derek Carr's quarterbacks, people got mad at me. But that's what I pointed that out a long time ago. So I think so, man. I just feel like there's just more effort, I guess. And not just try. If I don't get an interception, I'm not really going to try. And we saw it on a play. Like, he was playing for the interception, and, he should be the DB coach, right? All being said, should the nation have hope? Yeah, you know what? I do. The Raiders give up 14 points a game at home. 14 points a game at home, 25 on the road. All right, so they give up 20 on the road again, right? But at home, they've been all year. They have been basically lights out on defense at home. You can think about all the games that you could think of. Even against some. They haven't played the Chiefs offense, but the Chiefs offense is not like this dynamic thing you should be scared of right now. You should always be scared of Patrick Mahomes, but if you could get a good game plan for Travis Kelce, you want MVS and Rashee Rice and those guys, Sky Moore and Justin Watson to beat you. If Justin Watson goes for 200 yards, that it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I look at this game. If Sky Moore goes for 150, what do you expect, right? What do you expect? I wouldn't say like a nose tackle. I would say he could play. What they do with Jared Tillery. He plays outside on rundowns and then play him inside on passing downs. I think that's what they have to do. They have to mix it up that way. And then, sometimes, once he learns, he gets better at rushing the passer outside. Man. I think he can develop into something. Just there's some effort and some talent there, Yeah, that's true. 13 on that defense. That's why we need the defense to get some turnovers, which they have been, man. They've been getting the turnover. They've been turning the ball over a lot. They've been making a lot of plays. So, the Raiders might need a pick. They might need a defensive touchdown this week. They might got to mix it up. Yeah. That was my opinion, man. I thought they should have won this game last week. So this could be a good chance. Really? I don't know. Maybe. I wouldn't say. I think they're pretty set at the edge. I think Malik Reed's not playing that bad out there, and then Kuntz is playing really well. I think Kuntz needs the one who needs more snaps, but they like Malik Reed, I guess, to play the run a little bit better than Kuntz. But I thought Kuntz had some pretty good run reps, and then he's consistently getting pressure. That's the thing on third down. Kuntz is playing damn well. I posted about some rate thing. He's all right up there with like some of the Hassan Reddicks, those type of guys. He's right up there with them. So if he's playing pretty damn well, I think Kuntz just needs more playing time. And I think he's playing the run a little bit more. He's stronger. He's setting the edge. a little bit better. So I think there's got to be more of him playing because he's getting pressure, man. He's getting pressure just like any other guy. He's facing left tackles. I mean, Max Crosby is getting the easier matchups than Kuntz, and Kuntz is still winning. I mean, Kuntz went right around Teron Armstead for a sack. It didn't count, but he went right around him. And, Armstead's one of the best left tackles in football. Right around him. I mean, he beats the dude from I can't think of his name. The dude from Chargers earlier. He's beating everybody. So he is winning on the outside, no matter who's out there. And that is a great thing, in my opinion. I feel like that's something we should all be excited about because he's not a contract guy. I mean, we still have one more year of Kuntz before a contract. And if he keeps developing, right? The Raiders, that's the thing. They drafted Tyree Wilson, and then Kuntz puts a fire under Kuntz. You're gonna be in a tough situation there, and that's why I say might have to move Wilson inside and move him around a little bit because is he better than Kuntz right now? No. Is Kuntz young? Yes. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? So, all right, guys. Any other questions we got here? Yeah. The Raiders do need to draft a center. Who's Michael Pratt? Spencer Rattler, man. I'm an Arizona guy, man. Spencer Rattler. He's from Pinnacle High School, and I don't know how much he's changed or how much he's grown up, but I don't know about Spencer Rattler in Las Vegas. I'm just I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. We still don't know. Why he got kicked out of high school. I mean, because he got kicked out of high school, guys. Nobody knows. That's my thing with Spencer Rattler. I don't know about trusting him in Las Vegas. Is he mature enough? The dude out of Tulane. I'll check him out. I've watched Tulane a couple times on some parlays, so I watched him a couple times. We got Michael here. What's the issue on offense? Can it be fixed with the current roster? Yeah. I think they just got to be more creative with how teams are playing them now. They got to realize, okay, teams are ready for them, and we just can't surprise people. I mean, I think they still came out. Oh, we're gonna have the element of surprise on offense, and here come the Dolphins playing over fronts and ready for the zone game, and ready for their reverses. I showed the play with Trey Tucker where Trey Tucker got blown up, and the dude didn't even go for Jacobs. He just went straight for Tucker on the reverse, and they lost to 7 yards. They got to be ready for that. So I hope they do more power football this week. If you're getting 5 across, right, that's when you run power football. You got to do some counters and things like that, and get these guys going one way, and and mixing it up in the run game, more power, more gap schemes, to get these guys out of these 5-man fronts. Right, that's how you get them out of it. You don't want to be in a 5-man front against power. It's just not going to be the gaps and the way the linebackers work. It's just not going to be good for you, right? It's just not going to work. So this 5-man front works really good for against zone though, right? Because it stops cutbacks, all that stuff. Man, yeah. So that's what they got to do. They got to adjust to how teams are playing them. And also, I think they can't baby AOC anymore. Like you gotta just let him play at this point, man. The 2-man routes and all that stuff. They're trying to protect him and all that stuff. I mean, he has 6 games left. If the Raiders, win some of these games, right, and pull out some of these games and get to 8-9. I mean, I think he's gonna get a shot to battle somebody at least. I think we got to use Aiden as the emergency bus quarterback. If that makes any sense. The emergency bus quarterback. Because we could draft all the quarterbacks we want. We could do anything. They could go through all the process and draft a quarterback. But he might suck, And that's why I feel like Aiden O'Connell is what I call the emergency bus quarterback. So if this dude comes in, and this guy, he can't beat out Aiden. He can't do any of those things. He's not putting the work that Aiden is putting in. Then we have a young quarterback, at least, right? So, because you see Sam Howell's getting better every week. Those type of things happen. If you give a young quarterback competition, right? Give him competition, right? But if the young quarterback that you want to win, which because if you draft a second round guy or first round guy, you want that guy to win, right? But if he doesn't, then we have a quarterback that is young still. So no matter what, I think he should at least be a competition. And if the guy can't beat out AOC, the AOC should start. It's just straight up. You know what I mean? So that's the dynamic that I look at it. If the dude can't beat AOC, man, right? Or AOC stays, right? Yeah, man. I'm just thinking like the rookie could suck, and if he sucks, then we're like, all right, well, at least we got Aiden here, and that's kind of how I look at it, I guess. Let's get a couple more questions. This one, my dude KC. How much you see play calling versus AOC issue? I think it's a 50-50 in this game. Like I said, the run game wasn't called very well. And I think that's on Bo. Hard agree. I think when you see they're coming out and they're playing zone, it's not like this team never run power before. You know what I mean? And I know you have game plans. You have all these other things. But it's not like this team has not run power before. And I think that you got to switch that up. You got to see those things on film when you're looking at the tablet. Okay, maybe we should run some more power in the second half. Maybe we got to switch it up that way. All right? So I think so it's a little bit on them. But then, of course, AOC missed some stuff and missed some things that would have made it a little bit easy for him. So I think it's a little bit of both. We're not sold on the quarterbacks in the draft this much. Yeah, I mean, Penix to me is a second round guy from the film I watch. I really like Jaden Daniels. I mean, I watched that film. Jaden Daniels is small, man. He's just tiny. So it's like, if he gets hit, is he going to stay healthy? Yeah, man. So yeah, and I don't know what Jimmy does, man. I mean, Jimmy G is having fun in Vegas, man. I don't know. That's the thing. What do we do with Jimmy G? Do we just have to eat the money? They might have to just eat that money, man. And let him go. That sucks. And it's really McDaniels and Ziegler's fault that they have to eat that money, because I don't know why you gave him that restructure. It was stupid. Like, you thought he was going to be the starter the whole year? Like, it's just dumb. It's just, God, those guys, man, they're just ridiculous. Yeah, getting paid 23. Yeah, he already got paid well. They gave I don't know what that restructure was, man, but they gave him like $20 million up front, man. Good Lord. All right, guys, I got to get out of here, man. I appreciate you guys coming in here. We got an 86. I know it was like last minute, but I want to get this stuff up for you guys, get this film going. We got some questions going, so I really appreciate you guys coming with me and enjoying this. Like I said, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, guys. We're over 10,000 subscribers, but of course, you want to get to 11,000, get to 20,000. We want to keep going up, right? Get more people, enjoying the show. But I appreciate you guys coming and doing this with me. But I want to get some film out to you guys, before the game. But you're probably not gonna get a preview this week, because like I said, Matt, he has internet out, and it's probably not gonna get a preview this week. So you guys kind of wait till the instant reaction. Maybe I'll do something for members on the Mahomes offense, and maybe do that tonight. But just check it out, man. All right, guys, we're out of here. Peace.